you were seeing this, then I just wanted to remind you of the power of the Lord. The power of the Lord to get you through any single circumstance. We aren't realizing how powerful and how mighty God is. We go and we sing songs of praise to Him on Sunday, but when times get tough, we start doubting. When things don't look the way that we think that they should, we start doubting. When things just are chaotic and are a mess and feel hopeless, we just want to doubt God and doubt His goodness, doubt His greatness, doubt how much He can really help us, how good He really is. Yet, when we actually sit and look and we see the evidence of what He's done in the past and what He is currently doing in us and through us and in our lives, there is no doubting the goodness of God. There is no doubting the power of God. So right now, with whatever you're dealing with, to where you're doubting His power, know how good He is. And honestly, I want to read a little bit to you. And yeah, I just want to read this specific part. His splendor covered the heavens, and the earth was full of His praise. His brightness was like a light rays flashed from His hand, and there He veiled His power. Before Him went pestilence, and plague followed at His heels. He stood and measured the earth. He looked and shook the nations. Then the eternal mountains were scattered. The everlasting hill sank low. His were the everlasting ways. I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction. The curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. Was your wrath against the rivers, O Lord? Was your anger against the rivers, or your indignation against the sea? When you rode on your horses, on your chariot of salvation, you stripped the sheath from your bow. Think about that. Things that in our eyes seem eternal, seem unmovable, unshakable, trembled, melted, went low at the Lord's presence. You know, even the air that we breathe, the cells and the molecules that make up the very air that we breathe are under His command. That everything in our life is under His command. That every situation, every circumstance, every single thing is under His command, is under His power, is under His jurisdiction, is under His control. He doesn't have anything that He cannot do. There's only one thing, and that's to make something that He can't do. And so I just really want to encourage you in the situation that you are facing, because this is not something that you have to fear. This is not something that you have to bend your head at to think, oh, okay, well, I have to fear this because of the fact that this, and this is happening. And it doesn't look like the Lord will get me through. It doesn't look like things are working out in my favor. It doesn't look like everything is just going to work out and be fine and dandy. No, it looks bad. It looks like I'm about to fail. It looks like these weapons are about to prosper. It looks like I'm about to crash and burn. That you're about to crash out. Yet, the Lord is better than that. The Lord is above all of these worries. The Lord is above all of these fears. He is greater than all of these problems. And you know it. Subconsciously, you know it. Yet, we want to act and think as though these things are too great for us. That these things will overcome us, that there is no stopping it, that there is no overcoming it, that there is no winning against it. Even though we have the key to victory right in front of us, reaching out to us, loving us before we loved Him, and just being so good to us. We have the cure to disease. We have the solution to every problem. So when you face against these problems, against these demons and these devils that want to come against you, remember whose side you're fighting on. Remember what you're doing in your life. Remember who is backing you. Is he going to back all the things of your will and of your desires and of your wants if they are fleshly and not of him and not from him? Because our thoughts are not our own. Then no, he's not going to back the things that are just going to, in the end, drive us further away from him. He's not a God that is going to take away his children from him, allow us to do things that are just going to actually hurt us in the long run. He's better of a God than that. He's better than that. He's more good to us than we could ever imagine, even if in the moment it doesn't feel good. Like our phone getting taken away from us. There was a new state law passed in Tennessee to where we can't use our phones in any educational setting. Not in between classes, not through like at lunch, not before the bell rings, not after. If we are on the school campus, basically we can't use our phones. And that was at least how strict my school decided to make their policy. And so that seems like such a terrible thing. That seems like, oh, that's so unfair. That's kind of unreasonable. Why is the phone policy stricter than the vaping policy, you know? Which is an argument that a lot of people made. But it did end up with a lot of people spending more time, like, just talking with each other and getting to know each other better. And it opened kids up to be away from all the dopamine for a while, unless they were actively like going and breaking the rules and seeking out that dopamine in the bathrooms or something with their phones, or just trying to still sneak it and then potentially getting their phone taken away from them. And so I just want to encourage you that, like, when something bad happens and when something doesn't go your way, when something feels like it's just not going the way that you want it to, it might be a good thing. And it's not going to feel like a good thing in the moment. It's not going to feel like it's even a decent thing. But in the long run, when we look back, we tend to see the value of the things that happen to us. We tend to see the value in certain lessons. Like, if you wanted to go play in the road, your parents aren't going to let you go play in the road, hopefully. But we might cry and throw a temper tantrum because of the fact that we weren't allowed to go play in the road. Remember that we don't have the same knowledge and understanding as God. He has a more wide range of knowledge than we ever will. And he knows so much more than we ever will. And so when he decides to withhold things from us, tell us no, or tell us to wait, or tell us something, anything other than the answer that we want to hear, we can tend to be very mad. But please just remember that this is the God of the universe we're talking. Not only can he do absolutely anything and everything, he knows absolutely everything. And so when he goes and makes a decision about something to happen in your life, trust him in that decision. Trust him that that is what you need, that that is what will be the best. Trust him in this season of your life, and trust him that he has made the right decision. The God of the universe is planning out your life and has been planning out your life and weaving you together. He wove you together in your mother's womb in this intimate and close setting. He knows you better than anyone else ever will, better than you know yourself. And he knows so many other factors than what you know. So trust him in this season that he is going to provide for you, that he will provide well for you, and that he will actually go and do good to you. That he knows what's best, even if it's not what we want, even if it's not the best in our eyes, even if it doesn't feel the best. It is the best. Trust that God will give you the best today. Trust that he will always provide for you, and trust that he will not fail you. Because if the God of the universe has never failed you in the past, even if it was things that you didn't like in the past, he never failed you. Why would he fail you now? Why would the weapons prosper now? Why would he tell you a lie? Because a broken promise is a lie. So every single promise that he makes to us in the book, in the literal, basically, love note that he wrote to us for us to have and read and know, if he's making a promise and he doesn't keep it, that would be a lie, which also goes for any promises you make. But if our God is good and perfect, then he's not going to lie. He's not going to break a promise. We might be disappointed because it wasn't what we wanted and what we willed, but he won't disappoint in the long run. It'll be 10 times better in the long run. So trust in him and trust in his promises, what he has told us. Trust that he's not lying, that he's not a bad God, but he rather is a good God. Trust in his goodness and his mercy and his grace. That he can still redeem you from anything, that he can save you from anything, and that any bad that he allows to happen is for your good in the long run because of the way it will sharpen and mold you. Are you going to tell the potter as the clay that you're not supposed to be a spoon, but rather you're supposed to be a fork? Or that you're not supposed to be a cup, but rather you're supposed to be a plate? Who knows better? Who knows what you're actually intended for? Why make yourself be used as a cup if you're a plate? Why try to make yourself be used as a plate if you're a cup? Why try to be used as a fork if you're a spoon, or a spoon if you're a fork? Try to be used as a cup if you're a knife, you know? And so just trust what the Lord has for you. Trust that it is the best, because he doesn't give us less than the best. He gives us the best and nothing less. And I didn't quite intend for that to rhyme, but it did. So, I think. But that is the message today. Just trust him. Trust him in the good things that he will bring to you. The things that he will bring you through. That you will survive. And not only that, but in the long run, you will thrive. And that is the message I have for you today. Amen.